Jason turn up in Southport. Holly gets a job in a sleazy bar. She's charmed by Rick, who's a little bit dodgy as well. It's all going on.
And there's mortal peril coming up. There's always mortal peril somewhere.
Yeah, there's more.
Peril. Thank you, Alison. Very good. Tomorrow's show, we've got 24's Mary Lynn Ride the Carp and Ed Stafford, who's the survival expert.
See you then. Bye.
See you.
The evil Lord Voldemort is back, but only Harry knows for sure. How can he convince his fellow Hogwarts pupils? Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix tonight at 7:30 on ITV. Next this morning, we join the girls for a gossip with the Loose Women. Boots sponsors this morning.
I am marrying the woman I love.
I know about the abortion.
Get out!
You're a liar. He's my son. I have suffered, so why shouldn't you?
She is going to take you for everything.
If there is any person who knows of any lawful impediment, they must declare it now.
Emmerdale, Thursday at 7 on ITV.
We invited book lovers to try the new Kindle Paperwhite.
I like to escape in a book. You can just really get lost in a character and a plot.
I read anywhere and everywhere.
I plan to be reading books on the beach.
This is great.
The sun's just come out here now. It doesn't matter what angle you hold it in, I can read that perfectly.
It's really light. Great long battery life. 8 weeks. No way!
For travelling, this would be a godsend.
I'm really enjoying it.
I'd definitely buy this, actually.
Take a Kindle Paperwhite on holiday. You've got to read it to believe it.
Let's just keep this between you and me.
Let's make it happen. Boots, let's feel good.
Shakira presents Oral-B 3D White. What's behind Shakira's smile? Doing what she loves. Oral-B 3D White Luxe Toothpaste. It removes up to 80% of surface stains in just 2 weeks. Try Oral-B 3D White. Do the things you love. Oral-B, clinically proven cleaning and whitening.
Looks like you just won big. Nice one.
CostaBingo.com. Get £5 free, no deposit required.
Unlike some, National Accident Helpline has a no-win, no-fee, no-risk guarantee. Call 0800 556 557 or go to underdog.co.uk.
One supergroup, one me. I will be spending some serious time with McBustard.
Before I knew it, I was in rehab.
I'm not going to leave him because he has a problem.
I was the last to find out.
And access all areas blowout.
Fern and McBusted starts Wednesday 21st of May on ITV2.
From a laboratory at the University of California to a Glasgow graveyard, Billy Connolly looks at our changing attitudes to the end of life. Billy Connolly's big send-off tomorrow night at 9. Now though, it's Tuesday's Loose Women.
Loose Women. Confident. Sophisticated. Effortlessly stylish. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Tuesday the 13th of May. We're joining me, Kay Adams, today are Colleen Nolan, Jamelia and Nadia Sawalha. And we would just like to say congratulations to Richard Crabtree and Angela Jones, who have just got engaged on this craggy peak. Look at that. It is 20 metres up on the Lake District. I mean, honestly, you're not going to say no, are you? Congratulations. Coming up, Mucky Moira's here, talking Emmerdale weddings. That's actress Nat J Robb. Plus, were Richard and Judy right to speak out about their death pact? Is there something a little bit odd about girlfriends holding hands? And Just me. Should every school have a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender society for their pupils? Let me know what you think. Get in touch by 1 o'clock. Details of how you can do that are on the screen now. But first of all, this is the footage that has got the tongues of the entire world wagging this morning, isn't it? This is music's most powerful power couple, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Now, this is them with sister Solange, Beyonce's sister Solange, who is the one who is currently knocking lumps out of Jay-Z in an elevator in a hotel in New York, being restrained there by a security guard. Beyonce is just kind of standing quite quietly at the side and doesn't really seem to be doing very much at all. Jay-Z isn't reacting. And Solange there is going to get away from the security guard any second and have another oof, go at it. And Beyonce kind of just sort of parts them there, but it's so controlled. Now, the speculation is absolutely rife. They have made absolutely no comment on what was going on here and why this should be the case. They came out. It was as if nothing had ever happened. The two sisters got in one car, and then Jay-Z got in another car, and off they went. So, I mean, we don't know what's happened more than anyone else, but Jamelia, you know them. You spent time with the sisters anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on tour. I've been on tour with Beyonce and her group like 5 times, and I've met them, you know, several occasions. And one thing I can say about Beyonce and Solange is that they are so close. Like, I would describe them as best friends. They are fiercely protective of each other, incredibly private, and I don't know. Like, watching it, I think my first reaction, as I'm sure many people's reaction, was, what did he do? What, you know, what would make a woman act like that?
We shouldn't necessarily leap to that, to be fair.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. But it is kind of, you know, what makes somebody respond in that way? What makes a woman react like that? But then I kind of had to question myself and think, well, if it was the other way around, would I ask that question? Would I not take that no-nonsense approach that, oh, well, he shouldn't be hitting and blah, blah, blah? And it is that kind of thing where you just kind of, I don't know, you have to kind of question yourself, why do we look at it differently? Because
well, it's a woman attacking a guy than a guy who's attacking a woman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also in terms of the public reaction to this.
Yeah.
You know, some of it has been a bit gleeful, hasn't it? And lots of jokes going about on social media and as I say, the speculation. Whereas, really, we should take this seriously. And, you know, it's not something you should condone. It's violence, whichever way it's going, and certainly aggression. So, you know.
I found that really sad, actually, some of the comments about... It was like people were glad that, you know, people were going, oh, all is not well in paradise. And, oh, I knew they couldn't be that happy. You know, straight away reading things into it. And I thought it was almost like they were glad something bad was going to come out, something bad, and going to split this couple up. And I thought that's really sad, actually.
But what's he like? I mean, have you observed their relationship, Beyonce and Jay-Z?
You know, I'm going to be totally honest. I've been again in the same environment as them many times before, and I've never seen them looking. And I know it's going to sound really weird. I've never seen them looking like a loved-up couple. Now I'm sure they are, and no, I haven't.
They're like cuddly and holding handy all the time.
I mean, that's what. And the thing is, the public perception, when you see them out in public, it does seem as if it's that way, but it doesn't seem to be that.
Very different behind closed doors.
Yeah,
but do you not think that's because they know the whole world's looking at them?
Well, this is what I was just going to say. I think they are fiercely private and protective of their relationship. And you know, one of the things I hear people say, oh, well, they've got to come out and explain. No, they don't. It's none of our business. It's absolutely none of our business. The reason the whole smackdown happened in the lift was because they were trying to keep it private.
But what control that they have in themselves, don't they? They go into this lift, you know, perfectly calm. They have a rammy to end all rammies. Scottish word, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That was a rammy. And then, poof, doors open.
I would be like that. I could do that.
Really?
Yeah.
That is professionalism on another level.
Screaming row, and then the postman can arrive, and I'm like, oh, hello. My husband said it's chilling to the bone.
There is definitely a security issue there, isn't it? I mean, that hotel group is now very nervous because, I mean, people have to have some privacy. How that video was released to the world, I mean, they'll be absolutely fuming. But in terms of Beyonce not intervening, I mean, you think of it, there she is, she's a woman with her sister on one hand, knocking lumps out of her partner. You know, it's the old blood is thicker than water there. Well, God, we know, Colleen, you've been in the midst of this. Well, I mean, do you have a natural pull towards protecting your sister? Or,
well, I think you have a lot of pressure of people going blood's thicker than water and family always come first and all of that, which in 90% of the time I agree with. But, you know, in my case, I agree with whoever I think's right about something. I'm not just going to side with my family if I actually think, well, you know what, you were wrong about that, but hey, your family, so I'm going to go against my partner, my husband, which is what happened in our case, you know, with our family feud, which, touch wood, is fine now. But, you know, at the time, I remember a lot of pressure of people going, well, you should stick with your family. And I thought, well, they were wrong. In my opinion, they were wrong in this instance. And, you know, he's my husband. I think he's right in this instance. And if he was wrong, I'd be the same.
Would you be the same, Nadia?
Well, I mean, you know, as you know, I come from a tribal background. My father was a Bedouin. Everything is about blood. My dad has no understanding of anything that isn't blood, you know. So my mum says she'd be the last to be pulled out of the house because she's not blood related. So I grew up with a fiercely, like, loyal attitude towards my sisters. And, you know, it causes me great sadness to now say that, you know, often that's just been wrong. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, that's really taken me. That it's wrong, you know, because I've always just totally taken the side of my sisters, and I realise now that it doesn't have to be the case, you know.
All right. Listen, let's go to a break, hey? More to come in just a moment when we're asking, should every school have a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender society for its pupils? Back soon.
Loose women, looking stylish. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Welcome back. I'm here with our three lovely ladies on the All Brand 5-Day Challenge. When you think of All Brand cereal, what image comes to mind for you?
I was really surprised. I didn't realise they had all these different types. So you could really have quite a different tasting breakfast every morning.
Yes.
I like the fact that it did have, you know, chocolate inside.
What was your favourite?
I love the Golden Crunch.
You sound very pleased.
I was.
I was excited to try it.
So no, I tried that one and it was very tasty. And what about you, Sally?
The red berry, delicious. A little sweetness, sourness, it was just perfect. Really nice balance, I thought.
Mine was the red berry crunch as well, though I did like the golden crunch. That was the first one I tried on day one. All the cereal tasted differently, which I liked.
You didn't add anything else to it?
No, but that just on its own, totally delicious.
Definitely.
And it's quite quick.
Oh, quick, easy, yeah. Milk, yeah.
Join us again tomorrow to see how we got on with day 3. See how you can start feeling all brand new. Sign up to the All Brand 5-Day Challenge today.
Ooh, how big's that jackpot today, love?
CotterBingo.com. Get £5 free, no deposit required.
Highland spring water is drawn from our protected organic land, so nothing but Mother Nature touches it. Full of the joys of Highland Spring.
Did you know there's a hay fever treatment that acts 5 times faster than tablets? Try Prevalin Allergy when you feel the first symptoms.
The unique formula is so effective because it diffuses pollen rapidly, supports fast clearance of allergens and forms a microgel barrier against further irritation.
Prevalin Allergy acts 5 times faster than hay fever tablets. Fast, effective relief at the onset of symptoms, and now approved by Allergy UK. Ask your pharmacist for Prevalin Allergy. This has been Medifax for Prevalin Allergy.
Everything can be improved, and I mean everything. Your skills, your looks, your arrival, his arrival. We love to do things, it's part of our nature. And when we get to make them better, it just feels fantastic. That's why we pushed ourselves to improve our formula with Motion Sense technology, giving you our best dryness protection ever in a compressed can. Protection improved, so you can do more.
Improve your summer. Buy a promotional can of Shaw for your chance to win a pair of VIP festival tickets every day.
Let's just keep this between you and me.
Let's make it happen. Boots, let's feel good.
The first time I went to my favourite caramel shop, I was 5. And everywhere I looked there was caramel, and one that glittered like gold. A Werther's original. I felt like someone very special. So now every word reminds me of that moment.
Discover comforting Werther's Caramel in a deliciously creamy filling inside a smooth butter candy shell. Have you tried one yet?
The British Soap Awards are coming, and now is your chance to vote. You decide who wins: Sexiest Male, Sexiest Female, Villain of the Year, Best Actor, Best Actress, and the big one, Best British Soap. Go to BritishSoapAwards.tv. Terms and conditions are at the website. Voting closes at 3 p.m. on Friday the 23rd of May. Vote now.
Loose Women. Effortlessly stylish. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Welcome back to Loose Women. Needless to say, we've got loads of people on the message boards who are speculating about what might have gone on in that elevator in New York with Jay-Z, Beyonce and Solange. Lots and lots of very interesting theories. You have got very vivid imaginations. But Lacey, I respect the self-discipline of Lacey on Facebook. Why do we need to know what happened? It's their business and nobody else's. I couldn't agree more. It's competition time now. And have we got a cracking Loose Women giveaway for you? Take a look at this.
This series alone, we've given away over £400,000 in cash, 4 cars and 4 holidays. Now it's time for another lucky viewer to grab this week's huge cash prize. Yes, you could be banking £31,000. That's like £1,000 for each day of May. For your chance to win the £31,000 in tax-free cash, you don't even need to answer a question. All you have to do is call 09041 61 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT Landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrants must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 18th of May will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck!
Can I just say to Lacey on Facebook, unfortunately, Nadia does not share your high-minded principles, because when we went to the competition, she looked at her and went, I'm dying to know.
I believe you said that.
Sorry.
I think it's human nature.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, OK, how do we feel about gay societies at school? I mean, we know, obviously, it's same-sex marriage now legal in England and Wales, soon to be in Scotland. Obviously, that's going to have implications for education and how, you know, sexuality is dealt with in school, how they teach it and talk about it. The Archbishop of Canterbury today saying that homophobia has no place in schools. But really interesting piece, it was in the Times today, about a school in London. First school, they believe, to have an LGBT pupils club. That's lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. It's a lunchtime club, you know, like any of the kind of other interests and things that the kids would have. What do you think, Jamelia? Is this a good thing?
Yeah, me personally, I'm a bit uncomfortable with it. My reasons are, number one, we should not be encouraging or I don't know, but focusing our attention on relationships in school. Sending my children to school to learn. Now, no, I believe that. no, because I can see it. But no, okay, this is my thing. Number one, if you create a club for a minority, then that only serves to further the segregation. It causes them to be different. Number two, are we going to start clubs for other minorities within schools? Number three, why are we doing it? Like, what is the reason? I understand tolerance and I understand, I think the better thing to do is to create an environment and where people accept all people for who they are. You know, being a chess club, a tennis club, those things are...
But it's not happening.
No,
we know that homophobia is a major reason for bullying in schools.
Yes, so make moves for that to happen. But having a club that separates them from everyone else...
Yeah, I think that's saying to them, you're different, we think you're different, and in actual fact, they're meant to feel all the same, and I think that should be part of the education system.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it is interesting, in this instance, apparently the kind of motivation for this club came from pupils themselves, so they were the ones who wanted it, and I don't think it's exclusively there for the pupils who are LGBT. I mean, it's open to anyone. The argument would be, I mean, I have to say I think every school should have one. If they wanted one, if the pupils wanted one and they felt comfortable with it, I would be happy to see a club like that in every school in the land if the kids wanted it. And the reason would be is that individuals wouldn't feel alone. And we do know that, you know, historically, young people who aren't quite sure of their sexuality, or they are sure and it's not the norm, do feel, you know, odd ones out, do feel that they're picked on. We do know that there's bullying there. The chance to talk about stuff, the chance to know that they're one of
being different at school. Sorry,
but the point I think with that is, and as I read that article, and I thought it was a fantastic article, and the girl in it that got up and spoke for the first time, incredibly brave, and I think that's the problem. I think, and I was all for it when I read the article, but then I rang a friend of mine who grew up with it, and his mother was actually gay, and the whole time through school he lived in terror that somebody was going to find out at school that his mum was gay and that his life was going to become hell. And sure enough, it did when people found out. And I gave him a ring and said, what do you think? Would this have helped you? He said, oh, he said, that fills me with horror. He said, because then we would have been completely, like, stand out like a sore thumb. He said, it sounds like a great
but you wouldn't
sort
be
of liberal
forced to
idea.
join it.
But at the end of the day,
it.
no, you wouldn't be forced. But then would those children really know what they might be setting themselves up for? Maybe the thing is to have some sort of a group where all children can go, where all subjects are discussed.
But the thing is, it's not being set up as a help group or a counselling group or a heavy group. It's just like a, you know, a dead, ordinary group. You know, we're a bunch of kids who've got shared
I agree with you. If the
interests,
kids,
and we're here.
If the kids themselves want it, then who can argue with that? But I still think that it needs to be addressed within the whole classroom. When they're learning sex education and about life in general, it should be so open. They should talk about, you know,
because homophobia in the playground is rife. I mean, it's still, my daughters and my nephews also, you know, the worst insult you can pay somebody in the playground is to call them gay, which is a disgrace.
And how do you break that down? That's the question.
As parents to change that.
What if your parents aren't? What if your parents are homophobic?
Okay, all right. As parents, teachers, I mean, I see myself not as just my own child's parent. I see every single child that comes into my presence. I have an ability to influence them, and I think it's about that. It's about tolerance and acceptance as a society, not creating little clubs that make them feel okay. Let's create a world that makes them feel okay.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, it's a great idea. It's how you tend to go there in staging posts, and that's the thing. I mean, some really interesting stuff that's been happening this week. The Conchita Verse, the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest, and you know, we've all kind of embraced this and the beard and all the rest of it, but actually there's a really serious message here that the guy who did it, you know, was saying that it's about tolerance. In Austria, which is a very conservative kind of country, you've also got the NFL player in America who's just been drafted into the NFL, Michael Sam.
I was shocked when I saw that
photograph of him
kissed.
He's got this fabulous news. There he is, with his boyfriend, Vito Camasero, and they're celebrating the fact that he's got this amazing news. Now, to a lot of people, that is shocking.
I was surprised
move forward.
When I saw that. It was weird. I was like, oh, that's strange, that's odd. And I thought, you know, I was astonished. You know, very liberal, very open-minded.
Listen, let's just quickly, if we can,
see more.
Bring in another view, because we've got Richard Lane, who's from the education team at Stonewall, who's joined us on the phone, which is great. Hi, Richard, how are you?
Good afternoon, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
We're very well, thanks. Just really interested in your view, Richard. I mean, you probably hear that we've got a difference of opinion here on the panel as to the value of having an LGBT society in school. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a really great step forward, but I think you actually hit the nail on the head that it can't just be about these individual clubs. It's got to be about schools doing it in assemblies. It's got to be about them celebrating it across everything that they do to make people feel included. But sadly, bullying still remains rife. We've done really detailed research that shows well over half of young people growing up are experiencing homophobic bullying. And that's not just because they're gay themselves, it's because they might have gay people in their families, or it might be because they're just actually a bit different. Girls who like playing sport or boys who like reading are really often picked out and bullied for just being a little bit different, and that needs to change.
I mean, what about Jamilia's fear that, you know, to have a society for LGBT kids would kind of ghettoise them?
I mean, it's just reflecting the reality that there are LGBT kids in schools in Britain. And as the society's been really clear, it is open to everyone in school. And a lot of the members are straight themselves who just want to come along and show their support for people. And having that kind of open, inclusive atmosphere in a school can only be a good thing in getting people talking about this as an issue.
Yeah. OK, Richard, thank you very much. Really interesting to get your view. Actually, it made me think there in that, you know, and I absolutely agree with you, Jamelia, and Richard said it too, it has to be, you know, a complete atmosphere, and we talk about what adults can do. Yeah. What I love about these kind of clubs is, instead of adults creating an atmosphere, this seems to be the younger people dictating what the atmosphere is that they want to be out there, and, you know, that in itself, I think, is a really positive thing that comes from it. I don't know what the audience think.
I don't think they go. I think they've gone home. You're all right, you're still awake, love.
How do you feel? Gay societies in schools? Hands up, who'd be for it? No, absolutely nobody for it.
Nobody?
Oh, no. Oh, no, if you... Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you count as 6 then. That's lovely, because you said it that time. Yeah, but you can see absolutely the majority are very uncomfortable with it. Well, unfortunately, we can't sit and chat about how, but it'd be really interesting to hear. OK, still to come, wedding dramas with Emmerdale's Mucky Moira.
I know of a good way to thank her. No? Let her bring her fella. I know him and Kane don't get on, but it'd be a good time to bury that.
Loose women, looking stylish. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Picture your skin without pores or flaws. Dream Satin Liquid Foundation from Maybelline, New York. Our air-whipped formula cushions as it blends. Look poreless, feel flawless with a satin smooth finish. Picture perfection. Dream Satin Liquid from Maybelline, New York.
Who'd have thought that a small hotel in Folkestone would grow into one of Britain's big success stories? We started with seaside holidays, but soon we were taking our intrepid customers on adventures all over the world. And we now insure the cars and homes of over 1.5 million of them. Saga's grown up with the generation it serves. For the 23 million who are over 50, we believe nothing is too much trouble. Not bad for a small hotel in Folkestone.
Get the big BT Spring Deal from the UK's most popular broadband provider. No one gives you a more reliable wireless signal than BT. So make sure you get BT Broadband Extra at our Spring Deal price of £6 a month for the first 6 months and £12 a month after that. No wonder BT is the UK's most popular broadband provider. Get BT Broadband Extra for £6 a month for the first 6 months. Don't miss the big BT Spring Deal. Call today on 0800 004 800.
With the low prices in the bathroom sale at Victoria Plum, you can get the luxury look you want at the price you want. Like this shower system for just £149. This unit and basin, £129. And the tap is only £39. Perfect. Shop around, compare all the prices, and then buy your bathroom in the victoriaplum.com bathroom sale. Get the bathroom you want at the price you want.
Dow Egberts. It's no ordinary jar. Jar. No ordinary coffee. Dow Egberts. Since 1753.
Hair that looks this healthy doesn't happen by chance. It takes the power of Pro-V science. Pantene Repair and Protect and its souffle with Provitamin B5. The system instantly reverses the signs of damage. For hair so healthy looking, it shines. Pantene, the #1 hair care brand worldwide.
94% of people do the same things day after day, so shake it up. Put Tic Tacs in your pockets and turn your bum into maracas. Join the queue and shout, Conga! With a sweet coating and a refreshing core, Tic Tac is refreshingly different. Tic Tac. Shake it up. And here's our freshest new Tic Tacs. Apple burst flavour. Some sweet, some sour. All of them ready to shake up your day.
Live and free from Wembley, Arsenal take on Hull in the FA Cup final, Saturday at 3 on ITV.
Loose Women. Timelessly beautiful. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Welcome back. Oh my Lord, I've just had an allergic reaction. That was, yeah, we've been out holding hands today. If you're asking what the heck are they up to, I've been asking the same thing. We'll tell you a bit more about it later. I actually do feel quite uneasy. Now, take 1 soap, add 2 weddings, stir in a bit of who's the daddy, and you have the perfect recipe for disaster. And it looks like it's Emmerdale's Mucky Moira is going to be served a big dollop of trouble on her wedding day. Please welcome the actress who plays Mucky Moira, Nat J Robb.
I know.
Oh, yeah. It's only because she's Scottish. It's a wee secret handshake, actually. It wasn't holding hands. It wasn't. A red bouquet, was that?
It was a mixture, I think. But
yes.
They smelled gorgeous, actually. They were lovely.
Is it true that Moira's wedding day, I mean, there's all sorts of shenanigans, and you can tell us a little bit, but not too much. But not wearing a white dress, is this true?
Definitely not, because Chaz arranges the wedding. So you can imagine a Chaz kind of style. So it's scarlet.
Scarlet.
Yeah. Scarlet. It's actually a Spanish material because it was all handmade.
Oh, look at that.
Especially for it, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Very red. And he's in an electric blue suit. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I like cleavage. That's a good cleavage for a wedding.
It's not out as it normally is, actually, because for funerals it's usually out a lot more. But
cleavage envy. I mean, forget Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's a big week for Coira, isn't it?
It is.
Kane and Moira.
It's stuck. Mucky Moira and Coira's stuck. It has. Yeah. It's a massive week for us both, and it's going to be very tricky. And when we get to the altar, does it happen, or is he going to open his mouth?
Yes. Well, just to fill people in a little bit, because obviously you're getting married to Kane, but your late husband's brother James.
You know, I was 18 at the time. I had my first child, which was Holly. He neglected me. He was always working on the farm. And then, you know, I got a little bit
lonely.
And I think his wife was a wee bit...
With his brother. I mean, it's getting lonely. A few gins involved, maybe.
There was lots of alcohol involved, apparently, but it was a mistake, and it was just a one-off. It was one
I'll tell you
mistake.
something. If Colleen Nolan thinks it's beyond the pale, you really have to. So the thing is James going to reveal the fact that actually your son is his rather than his daddy's? Is that right?
Yes, he does. He does do a DNA test behind my back.
Ah.
He nicks a sock or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
and do you know this on the wedding day that he knows?
I know just before it. I know before it when it happens, but, you know, all this time I've actually believed he was John's. So I'm just as much in shock, and I'm kind of, you know, it's just quite sad, because the last thing I want to do is break my boy's heart.
Yeah. Well, that's Thursday, I think. You've got an hour-long episode, so it's a biggie. But tonight, we've got a little clip from tonight, so let's see just what's happening.
Right, is it all done?
Really? You want to look? Yes, please. Not you.
I'll wait. I'll see it with our bell.
Oh, you've all done so much. I don't know how to thank you.
Well, Shaz has done most of it, and I know of a good way to thank her.
No?
Let her bring her fella. I know him and Kane don't get on, but it'd be a good time to bury that. And chances are he won't even know James is there. All he'll be looking at is you.
I can't really think about it right now.
Well, you don't have to. I'll talk Kane round.
No, I'll sort it. You just leave it with me.
Oh.
All the way through, because I know when I joined EastEnders, you get this biography, don't you, with everything that's gone before. Is that the same on Emmerdale? Did you know way back when you first joined?
No.
No?
No, they've added this.
So it's lovely revealing those surprises.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It keeps it fresh, and it's more of a challenge when you don't know what's always going to happen to you. And you know in Soapland, it's always going to go in 1,000 different directions, which keeps it exciting and fresh, I think, for me, isn't it?
Well, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it is,
you want your
absolutely.
character to have all these sorts of...
Yeah, but I want you to be happy for a while. I like you and Kane
I know,
together.
they don't really... Well, just, I can't tell
Right,
you.
so I'm pathetic.
I just want to stay together. It'd be quite nice.
Well, I'd want to stay with Kane.
You do know he's in the building.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
Did you see that? Just that was the Colleen flash.
Of course, she'll always be Trish MacDonald to me. I know. Which probably wouldn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but take the high road, of course, the soap.
That's right,
Scottish soap. And, I mean, for me, growing up, well, you're a lot younger than me, but, I mean, you were... All right, okay.
I am, actually.
You are. A bit. All right. Get her out. Edit. But, I mean, you were the all-round entertainer as a kid. I mean, you were singing, you were dancing, you were acting, you were just everything.
I think I tried to up my hand at everything a little bit, but acting's always been my first love. But see, when you start this, I'm starting to worry what you've got up your sleeve.
Well,
yeah,
you're right to worry. You're a very smart girl, aren't you, Nat?
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember this?
Oh, dear.
Oh dear. It's good, we like it. It's very good, but you could have taken your curlers out.
Well, I thought that was my Bjork look.
When was that?
Oh, now we're talking. I think I was about 22, 23 then.
Yeah.
I'm 40 this year.
Oh. Oh, so you're not younger than me. Oh, that's funny. She's rolling her eyes.
Is there a soap that you haven't been in?
Corrie.
You've been in... Oh, Corrie. Because you've been in EastEnders and...
Yeah, I did a little bit in EastEnders.
And you've been in...
With Max.
Were you in... Oh, yeah. So what is it about soaps that you love then?
Well, I mean, I did a lot of dramas. I did a lot of guesting in dramas as well, but I think soap for me was one of the best training grounds you could ever get because you've got to do it quick, you've got to come up with the goods really fast. And it's tough, like I said, it's very challenging, but that's my kind of personality. I'd rather that than kind of get bored.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you know, I was living out of a suitcase. I was travelling all over the world, you know, all the different countries in Europe and stuff, and I just thought, I'm kind of getting a bit bored of that now.
Yeah.
Just not...
Well,
it's
everyone's...
not fulfilling, you know, I love to travel and everything else, but after a while you just want to...
Everyone's life moves on in stages, isn't it? Well, listen, you're going to stay with us. I don't know, did you see the Jay-Z and Beyonce
Yes, I saw it this morning.
What did you think?
I got on the train. My God, she can pack a punch.
Absolutely. Well, stay with us because we've got lots more to talk about. It's competition time again, where we're giving away a life-changing £31,000.
We love all our winners on the show, and believe me, there are loads of them all over the UK who have won some great prizes this series.
I won a Range Rover Evoque and £10,000 on Loose Women. I called my boyfriend Ben, he just answered the phone and he just went, wow, this does happen.
For your chance to join our Lucky Winners Club by winning this week's fabulous £31,000 in tax-free cash. That's equivalent to £1,000 for each day of May. Then all you have to do is... call 09041 61 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT Landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrants must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 18th of May will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck!
There we go. Bouquet wars have broken out in the audience here. That bouquet that you see there.
A real wedding.
There's somebody with one wee flower. I've still got one wee flower, so there you go. Richard and Judy have caused a little bit of a stir. They have given an interview, it was to the Telegraph, I think, in which they said that they would assist one another in dying should the time come and it was the appropriate thing to do. And they said that they would do it without fear of prosecution because, of course, it's an illegal act to assist somebody to die at this current time. You know, clearly it's been considered in Parliament in the next couple of months, I think. So they've been criticised by an organisation called Care Not Killing, which is opposed to change in the law. And I think basically what they're saying is this is a very difficult and sensitive matter, and it doesn't help, they think, for high-profile celebrities to be talking about it almost in a casual way. Other people might say, look, this is a discussion that we've all got to have, and good on them for bringing it up. What do you think, Colleen?
Well, I've always been for, when you come to the end of the time, it should be your choice whether you should, whether you'd be allowed to die or not, and I've always been for that. I think when it comes, I think it's very easy to go, oh yes, love, when you're ill, I'll help you die. I don't think, I think that's because it's not even close to that situation. I've been in this situation with my mum, who had Alzheimer's, and we watched her deteriorate and all of that. And there was moments that I wanted the doctor to say, do you want me to let her go? And I would have said yes, because it was painful to watch her. Could I have ever done it? No, I couldn't do it myself. I know I couldn't.
Yeah, I suppose it is the casual nature, but I mean, my mum and dad, I hope they're not watching, will occasionally say, oh yes, we'll take the blue pill and da-da-da, which is something that couples in the privacy of their own kind of relationship or family might say, I guess partly out of nerves. Once it gets into the public arena, do you have to be more careful about what you're saying? Because for people who are really in this situation, it's intensely sensitive. You've been there, I haven't.
I mean, me personally, I believe that Richard and Judy were quite irresponsible to talk about it in such a, a kind of frivolous way. They didn't, I feel that they are public figures and people do listen to them, and the way that they spoke about this, it wasn't as if, oh, it's all right, I'll go to prison, or what. No, that's not okay. You're talking about killing someone, an illegal act, and I understand the sensitivity, but as Colleen said, it's much easier to say on this side of the fence. If it actually came to it, you wouldn't, I don't think they would speak like that if, God forbid, one of them were ill at the moment. Neither of them would say this in such a public way, and I think it is very irresponsible. There are many people who find themselves in that position. Aren't they just opening the discussion? Aren't they just asking people to consider that? Isn't the discussion open already? It's being considered in Parliament, and I think until a time when it is actually a legal act, we can't be that careless to talk about it in that way.
What do you think, Natalie?
Well, I read the article, I think it was Alistair Thompson, and he was the no policy, saying that there was a part about the twins, that they were already deaf, but then they were going blind, and so they were at 45 years old. Yeah. And it's just like, that doesn't seem right to me, because that's not an age, really. So if it was myself and I had no quality of life...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. I would say, yeah, put me down. But I was aware of what I didn't have any quality of life, or I lost my dignity and things like that. Personally, I would be for it in that sense. But you're right, it is illegal. It's not in this country. We can't do it. So.
What do you think, Nadia?
Well, Mark and I are both obsessed with death, and we regularly, in fact, spoke about it for about half an hour before we went to sleep last night. It's the way that we soothe ourselves off.
Very romantic of you.
I know, and we will talk often about, oh, I'll help you and you'll help me and blah, 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 and sometimes we'll make jokes about it, and sometimes we'll talk about it really seriously. And I think that it's just, in a way, it's what a lot of couples do to comfort. And maybe we like to romanticise it sometimes. Oh, we'll share a bottle and we'll do this and we'll do that. And actually it's a way of comforting, something that a lot of us are really frightened of. I'm really frightened of death. But I think on the particular, when I first saw the Richard and Judy, they're okay. They're just talking about it. They've been asked and they've talked about it. But actually, reading the article, I think it is a bit flippant. I think, nobody has the right to say, oh, well, I don't worry about prosecution. It's illegal. You have to. Yeah. You could go to prison if you did that. And I think in that way, I think that it's ill-advised.
Yeah, it's also kind of setting up the scenario where you'll both be compos mentis, you'll both be in a position to take the decision, and you'll be completely autonomous. Whereas actually, death really comes to us in that way, in that sort of everything being neat, and it's usually so much more complicated. Anyway, there you go. I mean, it is a big discussion that we'll be having this year in Parliament, and something we'll be talking about, I'm sure. More to come, and if you've seen today's rave reviews for the new X-Men movie, we're all gutted here, but this one is for you.
What happened when our 4 loose women met Hollywood hunk Hugh Jackman?
Fantastic.
Were the girls too hot to handle, or did the superhero rise to the challenge?
Watch me with my loose women.
Hugh Jackman coming soon on Loose Women.
Actually, don't watch.
Loose Women. Looking stylish. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Hot off the catwalk, onto the high street. We're celebrating the best of British fashion. The judges have selected the categories. Now it's over to you. Shorts, shoes, skirts, shirts. Who bags your vote?
Watch it, wear it, own it.
Vote in Lorraine's High Street Fashion Awards this week.
Become a dementia friend and find little ways you can help people like me. Please go to dementiafriends.org.uk now. Thank you.
Okay, be brave.
Oh!
Let's get closer. Come on. Everybody got sun cream? Let me cool this. Let's get to the front. Come on, Mum!
Let's get the most out of summer with offers on thousands of summer essentials at Boots. Let's feel good.
Picture your skin without pores or flaws. Dream Satin Liquid Foundation from Maybelline, New York. Our air-whipped formula cushions as it blends. Look poreless, feel flawless with a satin smooth finish. Picture perfection. Dream Satin Liquid from Maybelline, New York.
With you, every step of the way. Pregnicare, the most trusted pregnancy supplement. From Vitabiotics, the UK's #1 vitamin company.
Renault Clio. Restart your heart. Renault Clio, available with 4 years warranty, roadside cover, servicing and finance.
Looks like you just won big. Nice one. CostaBingo.com. Get £5 free, no deposit required.
Busiest room in the house. If it doesn't work for everyone, it doesn't work at all. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Loose Women. Irresistibly elegant. Sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. We've got some sad news to report this afternoon about Caroline Aherne, the royal family star. She's revealed that she's suffering from lung cancer. Caroline has been receiving treatment for it, and all of us here on the show, and I'm sure here in the studio, want to wish her the very, very best to get better soon. Caroline's backing a Macmillan Cancer Scheme, which aims to better support those affected by the illness, so she wants it to be highlighted. She said this morning that she's had cancer, her brother's had cancer. They know how it affects other people, and she is lending her support to this scheme, and so we would like to do the same. Again, Caroline, the very best of fortune from us. Yes, she's a very well-loved figure, isn't she? And for her also to be thinking of other people at this time, I think is, you know, shows the measure of her. We're getting lots and lots of traffic on the subject of having LGBT clubs at school. David says anything to tackle discrimination is a good thing as long as it provides a safe environment. I'm all for it. Teresa says my son is 10. He understands it's okay to love whoever you fall in love with. It's a shame that a lot of adults don't seem to understand this. All awareness is good. I think that's so interesting because we're all about, oh, let's teach the kids. Sometimes the kids need to teach us. Yeah. But Angela says, why does everything have to have a label? We wouldn't have a straight society. Why separate them? That make them feel different instead of proud of what they are. The only thing I would say on that is in this particular one, it's the pupils who set it up, so it was their choice, whatever you think. Anyway, it's time now for your last chance today to win £31,000 in cash. Not even a question to answer. All you have to do for a chance to win is...
Here at Loose Women, we love to give away some top treats. Yes, this series alone, we've given away 4 cars, 4 holidays, and over £400,000 in cash. This week is no exception. You could get your hands on £31,000 in tax-free cash. That's like having £1,000 for each day in May. For your chance to bank a huge £31,000, then all you have to do is... call 09041 61 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT Landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrants must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 18th of May will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck!
OK, right, here we go. This is a wonderful, life-affirming image here. Look at this. Twin girls, just born, holding hands, literally, as they came out the womb. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? And apparently both healthy and well and, you know, cuddleable within a very short time. So it's absolutely beautiful. And I mean, for their parents to see these twins come out, my, they better get on. They better not fight, as you can imagine.
What the pressure.
Yeah, imagine that photograph being put back to. So, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely there, and even I can go, oh, that's gorgeous. But when people grow up, you know, holding hands, yeah, OK, all right. Now, bear with me, OK? There's this big thing about women, you know, straight women holding hands with each other in public. And you seem to see it all over. Tess Daly, Claudia Winkleman, did you see this picture recently? There they are, out and about holding hands. They're not the only ones. And actually, somebody wrote about it the other day, saying, you know, it's kind of fetishising, you know, female relationships.
No, it's not. You hold each other up when you've had too many, and when you come out your heels.
All right, just smile, just keep walking.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's weird. Well, we had to do it, didn't they? They made us do it this morning, and I say made us do it.
Yeah. What was the reaction then?
Well, here we go. Nadia and I had to go out holding hands. Right, this was it.
Oh,
but you're already
I have to say, you were very lucky. I am still your friend. She was retching, she was shaking, she was tearful. When we finished, she wiped her hand.
I find it difficult.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, you look uncomfortable.
And the thing, you know, there are different types of holding hands. Well, me and Colleen did it as well, and Colleen did this type of. And it was like, because that's the partner holding hands, and this is like the holding hands.
Also, you see, I prefer my boyfriend and I did this a few weeks ago. I went, no, you know what? I like this one with the size of your hand, not that one.
Well, I do this
I go
one.
into different, and it just feels a bit.
I think this one's for kids and this one's for your partner. Am I
weird?
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, apparently
So you don't like it?
I love it.
Mine's like a limp fish.
Oh, I don't like. I can't have a limp fish.
I have to say,
I've only just
you've
been
got
told.
quite dry little hands, I have to say. I didn't think that.
Don't think creeps any further.
They're quite dry. Anyway, let's have a look at Colleen's grip. Come on, Colleen and Jamelia, sauntering along.
Oh, very confident.
You did the same as me. You started to skip.
Yeah, because she was mortified and I'm going, just relax, it's all fine, it doesn't mean we love each other.
So do you like it? Do you like it?
Yeah, no, I'll hold anyone's hand.
Oh, no. But it's got nothing to do, my awkwardness has nothing to do with sexuality. I mean, I'm not worried about anyone thinking whatever. But, I mean, I'm not desperately keen on holding hands with anyone, to be honest.
You're so cold and hard.
What about when Ian holds your hand?
Well, you know, it's funny. Be honest. Well, he does, because he's much more affectionate than I am. And we're walking along, and my head is going, this is nice. He's being nice. We're nice. We've been together a long time. It's nice that we can hold hands. This is nice. And then something else inside me is going, oh.
Tell us a story about when you went out with the guy that put his hand on your neck.
I think because he was shorter than me, and he was trying to kind of control me. We'd be walking along the street, and he would rest his hand there, like that.
Oh, that's quite controlling.
I know, direct me along the street.
Oh, I kind of like
The temptation to go, is huge. Does Ray hold your hand?
Ray.
He handcuffs them, we know that.
Ray doesn't even walk. Ray walks 100 yards in front of me.
That's my boy.
He does, honestly. He's terrible because I am tactile and I like holding hands, especially with my partner, actually, you know, and I'm very romantic. And I love it when I see couples in the street and I always go, look at them, they're so in love. Probably hate each other, but they're holding hands. And, no, not at all. I hold his hand, he goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm holding your hand.
I still will hold my hands with my dad. He's got the most beautiful, soft, lovely hands. You have to try
Not dry.
But in the Middle East, surprisingly, where my father's from, you go there, and I remember as kids, we used to just find it hilarious. All the men hold each other's hands as they walk along.
Yeah.
In such a macho society, wouldn't you just think that you'd never expect they all walk along swinging each other's hands? And I just think it's lovely that people are that comfortable with each other.
I think it is funny, though. I do think, like, for instance, I mean, I would feel incredibly weird holding my mum's hand, but I would hold my nan's. I'd hold hands with my nan. Happily, I'd go around with her all day, holding but not my mum, because I'd feel really weird. But then saying that, if my daughter, she's 13, same height as me, she's not allowed to stop holding my hand. No,
I know, I agree.
No.
The only people that I like holding hands are my children. I love holding my children's hands.
They can't stand you. You're just controlling.
Oh, that hurt.
They've just got no choice because you're controlling. What about you, Moira? You
Mucky Moira.
Come on.
Mucky Moira likes holding other things, but Natalie likes... no, I do like holding hands, now that I know how I like to hold it. But I grew up with loads of boys, and I was a bit of a tomboy, so I was never a girly girl. I wasn't interested in makeup and boys and stuff like that, but I'd go and play football with the boys, so I was never in that environment to really...
So if you're out for a night out with girlfriends, I mean, like that photograph that we saw, would you be walking along holding hands?
No. No, I wouldn't. You might link arms and stuff with your girlfriend and stuff. You might do that.
Don't you think, though, when you're out at night, though, it is about heels as well, when you're walking
somewhere, you hold each other
fall.
I wouldn't really hold hands. It's just not my way. It's just not
funny how
intimacy
is, isn't it? It's funny how many grades we've got that
But
before it's
some people take it to the extreme. I've seen girls kissing each other in clubs, and they're not lesbians, but they're, you know, they're...
What's that to do, though? What's that?
I just think it makes women look pathetic. I mean, it really does.
I think we just look really good friends.
I'm just trying to work out which one's the man.
No. Well,
there is no such thing.
Not with that we skip there. I mean, can you imagine Condoleezza Rice and Hillary Clinton walking along holding hands?
Yeah, but they're like you, they're control freaks.
Oh, OK, well, that's a good place to finish, isn't it? That's your lot for today. Get off. Join us tomorrow when Ruth Killeen, Janet and Michelle Heaton will be here with plenty of midweek chatter and Emma Bunton. We'll see you then. I'm going. Cut!
Sergeant Marcus Farrow and the race to prove his innocence. Catch the whole series of Prey on ITV Player now. And what makes a 10-year-old girl behave so badly at home? Her parents ask for Joe Frost's help in Family Matters this afternoon at 2. Stay with us, it's the ITV Lunchtime News next.
Loose Women, sponsored by Schwarzkopf Colour Mask.
Coming up, a merger could delay life-saving drugs. The warning from the boss of British drug company AstraZeneca. An arrest over the disappearance of chef Claudia Lawrence. A man is questioned on suspicion of murder. And the lift attack on Jay-Z. Beyonce's sister punches and kicks the famous rapper.
You're in the down a bit. To me. Oh. Hey, Carlo! You can't make it to dinner. Dinner makes it to you. Dolmio Bolognese. When's your Dolmio day?
Let's just keep this between you and me.
Let's make it happen. Boots, let's feel good.
Wow, look at that!
Flash liquid gel.
It's 2.5 times more powerful, so she only needs a drop. It's as if it actually gets into the dirt and lifts it off.
Oh, it has a nozzle that stops by itself, so nothing's wasted.
Look at that shine.
It's his concentrated powers. Flash liquid gel. Small but more powerful.
Soy sauce stains are a lot easier than you think. It used to be a real problem for me in the past. With Vanish Gold though, I find that stains come up very easily. 1 scoop in the tub, mix it up, give it a little bit of a swirl and a little bit of a scrub. 30 seconds is all you need. As you can see, the stain's gone. So I'm going to pop this in the wash with 1 more scoop. Here you go. Job done, stain's gone.
Here's a little incident I had with the raspberry earlier on. There is this new product, Vanish Gold. You'll find that within 30 seconds, as if by magic, the raspberry stain is gone.
I'm amazed. Honestly, the Gold product is just so good.
Tailbacks up to 3 miles.
I don't know when I'll be home.
Give it here. Don't worry, fella. I'll keep her entertained.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide.
Get entertained at the UK's foxiest bingo site. Now on mobile and tablet. Right then, who fancies a conga? Join foxybingo.com today and get £5 absolutely free. No deposit required. Foxybingo.com, where it's foxy time all the time.
When you're constipated, your natural flow slows to a stop. Help get it moving again with Senokot. It provides effective, overnight relief and contains natural senna to help relieve constipation. Senokot. Help nature take its course.
Specsavers are the UK's #1 high street provider of hearing aids. Yes, you did hear me correctly. Hearing aids, just like this one. It's made by one of the world's leading manufacturers, and it's packed full of digital technology that could bring back a world of sounds. We offer to test your hearing and supply and fit your hearing aids on the same day, and we offer great Specsavers value too. As well as a free hearing test, we provide full free aftercare. And what's more, if you buy your hearing aids from Specsavers, we'll give you free glasses too. Call 0800 121 7766 or book online today.
Hey, you seeing this? She only needs a drop of him. To clean there, and there, blimey, and even there.
Flash liquid gel. Small but more powerful.
So, scheming charity has revealed her post-wedding baby plans to Chaz. Not a great start to the big wedding week in Emmerdale. The story continues tonight at 7. Now, though, with the time nearly 1:30, it's the ITV Lunchtime News.
A merger could delay life-saving drugs. The warning from the boss of British drug company AstraZeneca. The American company Pfizer is bidding to take over. But today there are serious questions about the future for patients.
What will we tell the person whose father
died from lung cancer because one of our medicines was delayed.
Also this lunchtime, a man is arrested on suspicion of murdering the missing chef, Claudia Lawrence. Unacceptable care at Welsh hospitals. An independent review says it's a matter of urgency. And the world's most famous rapper Jay-Z is attacked by his wife's sister in a New York lift.
This is ITV News with Charlene White.
Good afternoon. Potentially life-saving cancer treatments could be delayed if a British drugs company is taken over by its American rival. That was a warning from AstraZeneca boss Pascal Soriot today. He also branded the bid a huge distraction. Both he and the boss of drugs giant Pfizer appeared before MPs on the Commons Business, Innovation and Skills Committee as Pfizer looked to defend their proposed £63 billion takeover. Our political correspondent Libby Vina reports.
Well, I'm really looking forward to talking to the committee today.
It was the day Pfizer's boss hoped to persuade MPs of the merits of his company's takeover bid for AstraZeneca. But Ian Reid was soon on the defensive, admitting the merger would mean research and development would shrink.
I do not expect that the combined total will remain the same. I suspect it will be lower. To the extent how much lower, at this stage, I cannot give a figure on that.
20% of the merged company's staff would remain in Britain, he insisted, but MPs wanted to know how many would actually keep their jobs.
I am a man of my word. Pfizer is a company of its word. We say substantial, it'll be substantial.
Well, how many of them will still be employed there 5 years from now?
I will come back once we complete the acquisition.
2 years from now, how many?
Once we've completed the acquisition, I
1 year from now, how many?
A substantial number will be employed. We do not take these decisions lightly.
These are not guarantees then, are they?
But it was the chief executive of AstraZeneca also giving evidence today who fired the biggest shot across Pfizer's bows, warning that life-saving drugs could be delayed.
Well, the drawbacks are the disruption. You know, what will we tell the person whose father died from lung cancer because one of our medicines was delayed and essentially was delayed because in the meantime our two companies were involved in saving taxes or saving costs.
Earlier in a bizarre exchange, the man trying to seal the £63 billion deal produced a single coin embossed with his two guiding principles.
I believe strongly that everybody in the company needs to have a sense of ownership, hence own it. And to own it, you need to have the ability to do straight talk.
I believe you span it this morning and God own it, and we haven't had the level of straight talk that we needed. Perhaps you'd toss it again when you come tomorrow.
I'm looking at straight talk. I'm looking at straight talk right now, right in front of me.
Right.
But ultimately, whatever MPs think, it's the shareholders of this man's company, AstraZeneca, that now need to be convinced. Libby Vina, ITV News, Westminster.
Well, our business editor Joel Hills joins me from Westminster. So, Joel, what's the consensus amongst MPs? Do they think that this deal should be blocked?
Well, there was a kind of group anxiety, and I think because of a lack of detail that we've got here. Remember, this committee does not have the power to block the deal, but ultimately the Business Secretary's been telling us in the last few minutes that he does. What Ian Reid spelt out today was that Pfizer, as a result of this deal, if it were to be successful, there would be job losses. He wouldn't say how many. That there'll be substantial savings in tax. He wouldn't say just how much. He restated the company's commitments to Britain. He wasn't willing to extend them beyond 5 years, but he said they were legally blinding. They could be challenged in the court if the takeover panel perceived that promises had been broken. But the MPs still perceived there to be caveats. He wanted them to take him at his word. You get the sense that they weren't willing to. On AstraZeneca, a real warning here that life-saving drugs that are in the pipeline won't get developed because of the disruption a takeover deal might cause. But that company has problems too. The chief executive gave the impression of a man who really wanted Pfizer to go away, but even he accepted that shareholders are putting him under pressure to do some sort of a deal if enough cash is put on the table.
Joel, thanks very much. Detectives investigating the disappearance of Claudia Lawrence in 2009 have this morning arrested a 59-year-old man on suspicion of her murder. It's believed the 35-year-old chef went missing as she left for work at York University. Well, Damon Green is in York for us, outside a house where police are conducting forensic searches. Damon, very significant developments this lunchtime.
Well, that's right. A team of crime scene investigators has just left the premises. There are still more behind me in the house. What they're doing at the moment, I understand, is they're taking a very close analysis of an area behind the garage, photographing and filming everything they find and everything they see. They've been here for several hours, and from what we understand, those searches will continue for several hours more. North Yorkshire Police made an announcement this morning that they had arrested a 59-year-old man on suspicion of the murder of Claudia Lawrence. This house is just a few minutes' walk from the house, which has stood empty ever since she vanished. Police say that the searches will continue. A car has been seized, that Claudia herself has not been found. They're stressing that there is no sign of Claudia at this stage, and they're not ruling out the possibility of making further arrests.
Well, Damon, can you remind us about the circumstances surrounding Claudia's disappearance?
They are well known, and this has been a long enduring mystery. 5 years and more, Claudia has been missing. What we know for certain of her last move